Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3,
all right.
2, 1.
Ready?
Blog Talk Radio.
Here it comes. Y'all know this is the dance, right?
The best hour that you'll ever spend with another woman in your life. Conversations with Angie, Harvey will make everything alright. Catch it on D3 Radio. You never want to miss a show. You know, I know, we know. Angie, Harvey will make you grow. Conversations, Angie, Harvey. Conversations, Angie, Harvey. Conversations, Angie, Harvey. Conversations, Angie, Harvey.
I know y'all think I'm crazy. Hey! Merry Christmas! And Happy New Year! All right, my people. Greetings and growth, my people. Happy New Year! See, I got that twisted, huh? See, I knew you guys would check me right away, so I decided to start the show off like that. You go ahead and get your check-in. Say it's not New Year's. It's Christmas time. Y'all know I'm going to sing, right? I got my hat on. Oh, I'm in the spirit. I'm in the spirit. Greetings and growth, my people. Happy holidays to you all. I thank you all for showing up. You know, every time I think that nobody's going to show up. So I'm so happy that you're here. You're here. Conversations with Angie Harvey. And I'm your host, Angie Harvey. You see, I'm in the spirit, right? Listen, I am happy that folks are still interested in growing up, even though it's the holiday season. I'm so happy that you all showed up and that you chose to grow up with me. That means a lot to me. It really, really does. And like most of our conversations, there are at least a few newbies, new kids on the blocks. And I say, what took y'all so long? But welcome to Conversations. You're in for a real treat tonight. We're growing places that we've never grown before. And so this could be, you know, a little uncomfortable, but I want you to get comfortable and know that we're about to grow for a ride. Speaking of comfortable, there are a few folks, many of them, that listen to the show all the time. They become quite comfortable growing up with me, right? My faithful growers, my ride or die growers. Welcome back. Welcome back. Should we tell them? Should we tell the new people? Tell them that what's about to happen? Right. Okay, let's tell them. Let's be clear that if you allow yourself to be open, the next hour will enhance your knowledge that I hope will be contagious and spark growth that I hope will be immeasurable. That means you can't even measure it. It's just forever and ever and ever growing. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that the next hour is about to be the best hour that you ever spent with another woman in your life. No matter your preference, I got you. Bam a lamb. Right. And on some occasions, you can find me using my vocal skills because I know that I cannot sing, but I like to sing. And so, listen, I came up with a song. I got a little remix here. Okay, you ready? We've got, I got to have a mic. We've got growth roasting on an open mic. We've got positive change chirping in your ear. I know y'all saying, okay, Angie, stick to just speaking, no singing. We'll put it off a little bit. So now's a good time for you to go ahead. Don't tell them that I'm singing. Tell them that I'm talking. But go ahead and call and tweet and post and invite other people to join the conversation. Listen, if you're looking at this and you're looking at me live on Facebook, go ahead and do me a favor. Share the video. If you share the video, it goes on your newsfeed, and that means we can get other people to listen. It's not about me. I could give it. Yeah, we don't care about this. We absolutely do care about the topic tonight. And the more people that get the information, the better we all will be. I know some of y'all want to invite some of your kin folks. Go ahead. Invite them to come on. Some of y'all got some friends and some partners you want to invite. Invite them as well. Let them know they can also listen to us via the internet at blogtalkradio.com/E3radio. Let me slow down because I'm a little hyped. blogtalkradio.com/E3radio. Or they can call in at 646-478-4673. 4395, or they can simply share the video. Go ahead, press share. You guys know that I can see that you shared it, right? So I'm coming for all of my people that know me. If you didn't hit the share button, hit the share button. Gotta hit the share button, right? You gotta hit the share button. Hit the share button, people. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to catch you if you're cheating. Right. Okay, let me tell you a few things so I can get this out the way. Did y'all know that I'm hosting a couple of retreats? I got a couples retreat coming up in February 10th through the 12th. And I also have a personal growth retreat for any individuals. We don't want to talk about that conversation. And that's going to be March the 3rd through the 5th. If you want some information, you can hit me up on Facebook in my inbox. Let me know that you're interested. Send me your email address. I will send you the information. We have room for 3 more couples and 2 more individuals in the personal growth, right? And I think you guys, most of you all know this, but I also do some guided journey. And that is now I've transitioned over from being telephonic to being a video conferencing call. And if you want more information about that, you can hit me up on Facebook, or you can email me. Email me foryourmind48@cs.com. Don't laugh about my CS. I have a hard time letting go. Anyway, guess what's happening next month? Next month, I got 5 years on E3 Radio. I got 100 conversations with Angie Harvey. And in 2017, I will have made 15 years of me publicly speaking, helping grown folks grow up, right? Great. So how are you guys going to help me celebrate? I am going to be asking for people to give me video testimony and written testimony. If you have ever heard me speak, whether you've ever heard me deliver a sermon, a workshop, you've been the conversation with Angie Harvey, any of my videos, any of that. If you have ever been of benefit of my assignment, I want to hear from you. That's how we're going to celebrate. I'm a words of affirmation girl. I'm going to want to hear it in my ear. But I got some things going on for you guys as well. So I will let you know after the holidays. I'm going to start putting up some information. But go ahead and start practicing what you're going to say and what you're going to write. Right? You can go ahead and practice. I'm okay with that. That can be my Christmas present. Yeah, think about doing that. So I want to try to get at least 100 folks to be able to do that. Y'all can help me. I know 100 people. Y'all know I come for y'all, want y'all. Yeah, I can do that. So listen, we're going to roll right into the topic tonight. And I thought it was an amazing topic, but let me tell you how I came to think that, yeah, this is probably the topic I should probably talk about. I read a Facebook post. I'm going to read just a little bit of it. Sadly, I know too many people whom this applies. I tried to begin to put up the tree today and couldn't get the strength mentally to do it. I changed the curtains and began to clear away the area for the tree, but I just couldn't do it. After the curtains were put up and the starlights hung, I stopped in my tracks, sat down, and went down memory lane. All I can say is that it wasn't pretty. I think I cried for over an hour with the memories of what this time used to be for me and how it was filled with such love and anticipation. And now it brings back memories of the reality of the emptiness and sadness. Right. I read that and then I get journey people. I have clients and I'm hearing from my clients that this time of year is not a good time of the year. And when I ask questions about why, there's a variety of different reasons. And I have friends that actually plan to be sad and depressed and lonely during these times. There are people who are scurrying, trying to find things to do, which is a great thing. But I thought, okay, then we need to have a conversation. And then I got inboxes. So ever since I started advertising for the show, I probably have gotten a good 40 inboxes from people who said, yeah, I can absolutely relate. I can't wait to listen to the show, things of that nature. And so what's going to be very important is that I decided not to just address those people who inbox me, but to address all of you. Because I know that either we are or we know someone who experiences what we might call seasonal or situational depression and sadness around the holidays. And the holidays can span everywhere from Thanksgiving all the way up through the new year. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that, first of all, what it is. We're going to talk about who it affects. We're going to talk about the symptoms to look for, some behaviors and attitudes and things to look for. But bigger than that, we're going to talk about some things that we can all do to help ourselves and to help other people. You got that? Am I distracting him because I look like Santa's helper? Yeah, with the little hat on it. I found the hat. I thought it was cute. You think it's cute? Okay, then we're gonna grow from there. Right. It's a fact that many people become depressed, have a depressed mood, and are sad around the holiday seasons. The depression and sadness manifests itself in many different ways and manifests itself for a variety of different reasons. Tonight we're going to talk about who it happens to, what happens, and most importantly, what we can do to prevent it, to decrease it, or to eliminate it, folks, from being unhappy during the happy holidays. Everybody with me on that one? Okay, so who is at risk? We all are at risk, technically. But there are people who are at greater risk than others. Those people would be those people who are already depressed. And so you want to absolutely keep a lookout for those people who you already know are in depressed moods, are people who have been chronically depressed. Those people absolutely experience a severe form of depression during the holiday season. That is something that is always ongoing for them. And so absolutely the holiday season can absolutely magnify that. The elderly, you'd be surprised how many people don't call, don't visit, don't go to see people in nursing homes, don't bring gifts don't go get the pies or the gifts that they bought for them, for their grandparents or great grandparents. So the elderly people are absolutely at risk for feeling some of this sadness and depression around this time. Reach out to your grandparents, people. Reach out to our parents. You know, our parents are getting older. It shouldn't be that anybody should not reach out. Well, you know, people, we got family stuff. Don't we got situations? Yeah, it's some people that still mad at their grandma for not making the sweet potato pie 1,700 years ago. I get that. But please know that if you feel that way, and there's two other people that feel that way, and nobody, can you imagine not getting a call, not one, that from someone saying happy holidays or a visit during that time. So those people are important. People that have empty nests, I know we get real happy, like, oh yeah, they about to leave, I'm about to be myself, we're about to do it up. But there are many empty nesters who absolutely get lonely and depressed around these times because Christmas has been built around their children, and now their children are going off, and if they're in college or they're just moved away, a lot of times people get really depressed and sad during that time. The people who have lost, and I'm going to talk about this throughout the show, but people who have lost a parent or a spouse or a significant other, whether it's due to death or them not having conversations with these people, because keep in mind, a loss isn't just those people who have physically transitioned. Many times people are in situations where they're not speaking to their parents, or they're not speaking to an ex, or they just had a breakup, or things of that nature. Those people are absolutely at risk because they tend to have built their holidays around that person, around those people, and minus those people. I mean, I know many people, I saw it on Facebook, people who are without their mothers and without their fathers, and who are just not able to bring it up, almost have no desire, because without their parents, without their significant other, they are absolutely saddened and depressed by those things, especially during the season. So those people are at risk. Any family discord. So you got 17 people in your family, but only 2 people are talking to 3 people, and there you have a problem. Those people are going to be at risk. Financial challenges. You know that we are pressed about, people are really big on buying things. I call it exchange. It's just a gift exchange. It's technically what it is. I spend $50 on you, you spend $50 on me, and we call that Christmas. But be clear, many people get stressed and worried when they don't have it to give. Many people get stressed and worried because they spend too much trying to give to everybody, and nobody can have just a little gift. Everybody has to have something grand, knowing then that they will be in debt or have some other financial challenges thereafter. Many people get sad and depressed around that alone. Many people are afraid to show up at family functions without gifts and things of that nature. So we want to keep that in mind. That absolutely is pressing. to have memories of what was. There were people that used to have grand Christmases with their large families, or with their partner's families, or with their partner. And now it's just, it's reduced in their head to just there being a time where there's a tree and you play some music and drink some eggnog, but there's nobody there with them, or no one that they want to be there to share that with. Those people are absolutely, I'm going to say at risk, but those people absolutely can be challenged during this time. Kids who have left dysfunctional places and having to return to those places. I had to put that in there because many of us have kids that are away at school, or that have gone away. You see it in movies all the time where people are like, oh God, we got to go back home, and mama gonna trip, and auntie gonna be drunk, and uncle's gonna this, and da da da. And those people will absolutely make decisions to not go and be around folks that will cause discord, but also then have some depression or sadness about that. And so those people we want to look out for. There are people who are actually with their family or with their significant other that are still not happy. People that are in unhappy marriages and unhappy relationships. If you can imagine having to grieve someone who's not there, and then having someone who is there, but who you can't get support from, or who you can't get love from, or who can't celebrate in the Christmas spirit with you, or who is literally not talking to you at that time. I know many people who are in places and spaces like that. And so being in a household where there is discord and dysfunction can absolutely make people, oh, that's so cute, you guys got the little saddy face and everything. That can absolutely make people not have a happy holiday. And so we want to keep those things in mind. Don't believe it just because people are going with their family, or because they're celebrating with their partner, that the holidays are necessarily going to be happy. There are some people who are absolutely dreading spending that time with someone who may not bring them happiness, or who they're not able to give happiness to. And then there are people who are unable to go. I did a article called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. There's some of us that are still having to spend holidays without our significant others, without our partners, without our spouses, because we can't go to their mama's house and they can't come to our auntie's house. And so we have to split up during Christmas, and you got to go to your mama's house because she's not having it. And they have to go to their parents or their family's house. And so some of the depression around this time is just knowing the agony of having to split and go separate ways during those times. I know people who have done it for years. I know people that when they make decisions not to do it, still end up being depressed and sad because this is what I normally do. This is what I would love to do. And then there's that, what would you call it? Being abandoned. Your family saying you can only do this way. You can't do this way. Or just to know that you're not welcome someplace does not sit well with a whole lot of people. And so I know many of people about those types of things can experience that. So again, I want you guys to keep a lookout for elderlies, for those people who are widowed, for those people who are grieving, those people who have lost a parent, all the things that I just mentioned. I'm going to put all those things on Facebook, because in order for us to be in tune to that, we have to know some of those things about those people. And for many of us, we are those people. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that makes sense. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so what should we be looking for, Angie? I get it. I get it that there's a variety of different people who get sad and depressed for a variety of different reasons. And let me be clear that when I say depressed, there's a depressed mood, and that's not necessarily something where you get diagnosed with depression. It is usually situational or seasonal that happens around this particular season, these holiday seasons. And so I don't want anybody to go into a severe panic. Now, can a depressed mood turn into depression? Absolutely. Can severe sadness turn into a depressed mood, turn into depression? Absolutely. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the show, and to keep you all looking out for those types of things. And what should you look out for? I'm glad you asked the question. I got the answer. Those people who seem to be angry or just have a bad attitude about the holidays. Like, yeah, I've heard somebody say, I don't know what that, HE double hockey sticks, people getting so, what's the big deal? It's Christmas. Well, I immediately asked, well, who are you spending Christmas with? Nobody. My family tripping. That's what I get. And so then look out for those people who seem to be frustrated or angry or upset, got a bad attitude for no apparent reason, just because it's the holidays. Well, usually there's something behind that. some of those other things that we talked about, where they don't have anybody to spend holiday with. They're in discord with their family. They had a significant other and they don't anymore. There are many single people who absolutely do not appreciate nor find comfort in celebrating alone, what they deem to be alone, and that's without a partner. Now, you would think that they would think, woo, good, I don't have to spend that money or those subset of dollars. But no, there are people who absolutely want to be with someone for the holidays. And I think there's a little bit of people who actually want to break up with people so they don't, so they don't have to buy gifts. Yeah, I got y'all number. Y'all a mess. Anyway, you want to keep a lookout for people who might seem to attempt to isolate themselves. Look out for people who might lie about where they're going to be or how they're going to be like, oh yeah, I got something to do. Well, what you going to do? Well, I'm going to probably hang out with my father, or I'm going to probably do this, or I might do this, or I'm going to try to do this. So people tend to isolate themselves. Unfortunately, you don't get a whole lot of people who will say, hey, I'm going to be by myself. Can I come over? Or, hey, I would prefer not to spend holidays by myself. What are you all doing? Let's all get together. Most people will not do that. So you have to kind of keep a lookout for, or you are one of those people who tend to isolate themselves. And we usually isolate ourselves and we make up fictitious stories about what we're going to do and spend it alone. I have a client who absolutely has a whole story already prepared about what she's going to say when people call and say, hey, I know you probably, oh no, I got a ton of people over here. They got music playing in the background and everything, just to get out of being around people. So not only do these people tend to be isolated, but they absolutely feel like, one, they don't want to put their mood off on other people, so they isolate themselves, or two, they really and truly don't want to be outside of themselves. There are some people, and we're going to talk about this later, who absolutely, I would use the word would want to wallow in that sadness. There's some people who believe that that's a part of grieving. There's some people who feel not right about celebrating without their mothers or their fathers or deceased loved ones, almost like a guilty feeling, like I'm having fun and my mother's not here, or I'm enjoying myself and my parents are passed away, or I'm enjoying myself and my partner just passed away. There's people that absolutely do feel those types of things. People who are frustrated and seem to be just generally sad. People that are normally happy people throughout the summer, and then around the winter time, Christmas time, they tend to get a little sad. They're speaking a little darker, talking a little bit more negative. We absolutely want to keep a lookout for those types of things. Any increase in eating. Now, I know that sounds funny, right? Because we all kind of increase our eating, right? But eating excessively or sleeping excessively. You call a friend who's usually up at 6 o'clock and all of a sudden she's sleeping till 9 o'clock. She's late for work. She's eating things that she doesn't normally eat. You get those people who are fit through the summer. And then for Christmas, yeah, you might have a pie or two. But if somebody, not a pie, I meant a slice. Stop playing, y'all. I did probably mean a pie, but there are people that go from eating one slice of pie to eating a whole pie. So when I mean an increase in eating, things that would be excessive and outside of what they would consider their norm. Or people who have decreased sleeping or eating. So you find that you're out to lunch with people and they know they don't want to eat. Now you mix any of these things together, that absolutely is a sign that they have some situational depressed mood or sadness, usually, for the reason of the holidays being here. So people who normally eat very healthy or eat well or eat whenever you all, go out to lunch, and they decided not to eat, and they don't have a lot of conversation like they usually do. People that switch up. And so most people who are not ordinarily depressed or maybe have a depressed mood throughout the year or for around a significant event, that just get depressed between November and January, these are some things that you can absolutely look for. An increase in habit forming activities. What do I mean by that? People that shop excessively. You hear them say, oh, I don't have any money, but girl, I found this Michael Kors purse, and I got these Coach boots, and I'm going to get these Tory Burch earrings, and so they're shopping excessively. Smoking, whether it's something, I would say illegal, but in some places it's legal, but smoking excessively, drinking excessively, drinking to get drunk, smoking to get high, and those are things that they don't normally do. Now, if your uncle usually drinks to get drunk and he's drinking to get drunk, He probably not depressed about the holidays. He's probably just a little bit excited. I'm gonna need y'all not to go taking Uncle's drink out of his hand, okay? Yes, Donna, the whole pie. Don't judge me. Anyway, and then you want to keep a lookout for those people who are non-committal about showing up. So you invite them someplace because you know that they don't have family in town, or you know they just lost their significant other, or you know they're usually sad about their parents, and you invite them and they say, oh no, I'm going to go do such and such, or I'm going to come. And when people say I'll try to come, you absolutely know they're not showing up. No need to pour their eggnog. No need to get them a plate. So those people who are usually non-committal, or people that usually like show up like, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, that sounds like a great time. And then those people not show up, are non-committed about those things. Those are some things to look out for. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that's making sense to everybody. Those are things that I absolutely want you guys to keep a lookout for. Those are some of the behaviors and signs that we have. And I want you all not to just listen like you're listening for other people, or listen to find those things in other people. I want you to be clear, because some of us aren't aware that we're in that same place. There's some of us who are still grieving our grandparents and our parents, who are grieving previous relationships, who are in places where we're not happy. And so I want you all to know, not just think about somebody else. I want you to consider yourselves first. Consider if any of the things that I just mentioned are some of the things that you're experiencing, because you absolutely can help you too. I'm not talking to you all just to help somebody else. I absolutely want you to help yourselves first. Y'all know I'm all about self-care, right? Helping yourself first, right? And so there was I do a lot of Facebook stuff around the topic. And so one of the Facebook posts was, true or false, there are folks who plan to be depressed and lonely for the holidays. And I think out of all the true or false questions that I posted, it got the most responses that were varied. And so this is what I meant when I said that. When I say plan to be depressed and lonely, I mean, there are people that I know that will say to you in August or September, I'm not looking forward to Christmas. I'm not looking forward to the holidays. There are people who plan. I know people who literally plan and prepare to be sad. Oh, I know that's not going to be a hard time. You guys know I'm very much into speaking into existence what you desire to have happen. And many times if you go into something going, it's going to be a horrible time, it's going to be a bad day, this is not going to be a happy season for me, those things are absolutely going to manifest itself. So what you want to be super clear about is that there are people, we do it sometimes, where we actually plan to be depressed. And it's almost like we give ourselves permission. Oh, my mother, there was a person that, and I hope she's listening, there was a person that said, hey, my mother's passed away. I can't find happiness in this season because I do not want to celebrate without her. But I need everybody to be clear. The celebration of this particular holiday is done for a variety of reasons, and there absolutely none of us are without people who we're no longer speaking to, who are no longer on this earth. But we need to be all clear that planning to be depressed, planning to be lonely, planning to be sad, isolating yourself, being non-committed about going to do something, not doing anything it takes to be outside of that, is absolutely you planning to be in that place. And someone said, who plans to be depressed? Well, many people don't plan to be depressed, but absolutely I know folks that plan a depressed mood. They will say to you out loud that that's not going to be a good time. I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be unable to celebrate Christmas. That's a plan. As far as I'm concerned, that's a plan. You can tell them Angie said that's a plan. Go ahead, give them my number. You want me to give you? I ain't giving you my number. Stop playing. But you can tell them to contact me. I'm open to that. But yeah, so there are people who absolutely do plan for those things. I know people who believe that a part of their grieving process is to be tore up from the floor because they're without a significant other, or without their parents, or without somebody to spend that time with. Or bigger than that, what I did not mention is to have your loved one to be ill, or to be sick, or unable to participate in the Christmas festivities the way that they normally would, or be unable to travel to where you are, or you to where they are. There are many different reasons, but be clear that if you plan for that to be, then it shall be. And that is a plan. And that you plan. You could just as easily plan, and we're going to talk about that, plan not to be in that place. All right? Right. Okay, and so there's a good question. The question is, what can we do to kind of alleviate some of this? What can we do to plan not to be? And the first thing I'm going to say is to plan ahead. We all know when Christmas is. Many of us work with people, know people, have neighbors, have friends, have sorority sisters and brothers, with sorority sisters, frat brothers, whatever that is. We know people, and we know people who are celebrating. We know people with big families. We know people who are doing things. We can do things ourselves. Plan ahead. If you know that this time is going to be, you're experiencing some of those things that I mentioned earlier, and you know this time is going to be a challenging time for you. You've already planned that. Go ahead then and plan to be in certain places, doing certain things. Plan to be a part of the group instead of isolating yourself. The other piece of that is, people, if you know people who are in those situations, go ahead and plan in advance to give them the time to say, yes, I'll go ahead and do that. Yes, we can go ahead. Yes, I will have that happen. So either way, the planning is going to be instrumental. I want to stop here because I want you guys to do me a favor. Everybody that's listening to me live, go ahead and hit the share button, because there are people who would not ordinarily get this information but if y'all go ahead and share, they'll see this chick with this, this Santa Claus hat, and if for no other reason, they're going to click and see what the heck she's talking about. We want to get this information to as many people as we possibly can, because we don't know who can use it, and I think everybody could use it. Either we are or we know somebody who is. Correct? Correct. Okay. Avoid triggers. There are people who I know that will plan to bring out the ashes, to look through the old movies, and not a way of celebrating the life of the person, or not a way of remembering that person, but definitely a way to draw them deeper into a place. There's some people who are going to comb somebody's Facebook page and look at all the old pictures of their ex with their new boo and all those kind of things. Hey, those are triggers. Those are triggers. If you know having a whole pie is what you and your mother used to do, or any of those things, if you know your triggers, you should go out of your way to avoid those triggers in whatever they are, and only you know those things. Here's a great time to create new memories, and I think that's amazing. I think we don't do enough of that, where it's important that if you plan to do something. I love, me and my family, but I love to do things that are different. And so my uncle was great at it. He would get these gag gifts for everybody. They wouldn't be anything that would be very expensive, but they would keep us cracking up all the day long. I wish I had a little thing. He gave us this thing this one time. He gave us you would hit the head of it, and it was like, oh no, forgive me, please. I think about it and I still laugh. And my uncle has since passed away, but you best believe when Christmas comes, I find that little thing and I hit it and I crack up. I don't get sad. I don't get depressed. I don't get upset. I don't get frustrated. I don't get angry. I don't plan to be any of those things. I plan then to celebrate. I'm not going to tell anybody that you cannot grieve. What I'm going to say is that, y'all know what I'm going to say, right? Drive by that emotion. Don't park in the driveway. Don't get comfortable. I'm going to tell you like this. Don't pull in the emotional handicap spot. Right. I'm taking away everybody's emotional handicap sticker. Do not pull in that spot and park. Drive by those places. Seek guidance, seek therapy. Y'all know, can hit me on the inbox. Many of you have my cell phone number. Call somebody. Get some help. Reach out to a friend. Avoid overages. Don't do a whole lot of over anything. Don't over anything. Don't extra anything. We got a couple of people who are just absolutely team too much. Avoid that. Operate within your budget. There's nothing worse than promising your 17 nieces and nephews that you're going to get them all a $40 video game and going into debt doing so. Operate within your budget. If your budget is small, your gift should be smaller. I can't think of anybody that I'm going to go into debt for. Not getting ready to do that. That's what's a happy holiday, is you coming out of the holiday and not being broke. That's what I'm talking about. Discontinue isolating yourself. Challenge yourself to get out. Challenge yourself to do for you what do for you. I'm going to put a period there. Just do for you. Allow yourself to take care of you. Practice self-care. Reach out to others. Ask people what they're doing. Ask people if you can come join them. Hey, have a little set yourself. Invite all the people who you know may be spending Christmas alone or Christmas with just a couple of people. and invite them over. Right, operate within your budget though. Don't go buying everybody gifts unless you invite me. No, I'm just playing. Not really. Share your feelings. And I know many of us, I could talk about this all day long. Many of us are not into that. We don't like telling people, especially when we're sad, when we're depressed, when we're upset. We got some people who will come on Facebook and say that they're all of these different things and get all this different feedback. I'm going to say when I say reach out, I don't mean put it on Facebook or put it on social media. I mean phone a friend. Phone a friend. Phone a therapist if you got a therapist. Phone a confidant. Share what you're feeling. If your grief is around a loss or anything like that, talk to somebody who has also experienced that loss and have those kinds of conversations. Absolutely, do something to honor those people who you lost. Absolutely. I'm absolutely going to take my little thing that my uncle gave. And I have a lot of deceased family members in my family, but you best believe we celebrate them. My uncle who passed away 27 years ago, he loves macaroni and cheese. So I always have an extra helping of macaroni and cheese just to honor him. See what a good niece I am. Ask for what you need. If you need company, ask for company. If you need help, ask for help. If you need a listening ear, ask for it. If you need someone to call and check in on you, ask for that. People that nobody is supposed to read minds. But on the other end of that, my growing people, when you know somebody is in the space, go ahead and offer up that ear, offer up that shoulder, offer up that ride, offer up that phone call. That's what you can do for that. I'm going to say, and I posted a question on Facebook about social media. It can be very difficult watching people post their food and their family pictures and their Christmas decorations and all those things when you're in a space. And so Facebook can be good and it could be bad. It depends on where you're at in this sadness or depressed mood. It depends on where you're at. And so if you know that it's a trigger for you, that you cry when you see it or you get sad when you see it, especially if you're combing your exes or somebody you're not speaking with Facebook page and you see everybody's there but you, be clear that you should have, those are called triggers, and you should absolutely do what you can to avoid those things. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that makes sense. Let's see. Honor your feelings. It's okay for you to feel. It's okay for you to feel. I'm just going to leave it there. It's okay for you to feel. I'm not at all asking you all not to feel some of the things that you feel. What I'm going to ask you to do is to manage those emotions. To manage those emotions. So it's okay for you to feel sad about someone not being there. But I'm going to ask you to manage that where you don't go down a place where you're sad and you're depressed and you just cannot think and you cannot concentrate and you're crying and those types of things. I'm asking you to manage that emotion, not to not have it, but just to manage it. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that makes sense. Practice self-care. What do I mean by self-care? Go out and buy yourself something. Do something that you would not ordinarily do. Do something that you wished somebody would have or could do for you. Go out and do things. I think the honoring, somebody said that honoring the people that have passed away or honoring those people who are not there or honoring yourself and having yourself. I remember one Christmas, and everybody's going to remember this, everybody in my family, that I absolutely bought something for just about everybody. And I bought me one of everything I bought somebody else. I did. Because I don't usually purchase gifts that I don't like myself. And so I bought something for my mother and I bought me one too. I bought something for my sister and I bought me one too. And so in my mind, that was a part of self-care because I would go, oh my goodness, this is nice. I'm going to buy this for me too. Right. Now, y'all, don't go buying yourself gifts and not buy your partner or your nieces and nephews and kids gifts. Don't tell them Angie said that because that's not what I said. I said I bought two of them. And so practicing self-care, that can mean you spending that time reading the book. It could mean you getting your hair and your nails done. It could mean you pampering yourself. It could mean you going on vacation. I got a couple of friends that are like, deuces, we out of here. I'm getting ready to go chill on the beach. I'm getting ready to jump on a plane and go visit a foreign country. I'm getting ready to go do those things. And I don't want anybody to feel like they're going to do those things to not be alone or not be depressed. But that's time that you get to go commune with yourself, that you get to go take care of you, that you get to go pamper you, Right. See, people think, oh, yeah, she running. No, no, no. That's not necessarily the truth. It's absolutely a great idea for you to pamper yourself. And have realistic expectations. If you haven't talked with your mother all year long and she lives up the street, don't sit around and get super depressed because she didn't call and it's Christmas. Or you didn't get a card and it's Christmas and you haven't talked. People have unrealistic expectations that things are going to happen because Christmas is supposed to be magical. Baby, Christmas ain't magical for a whole lot of folks. Especially folks with egos and pride and all of those crazy things that keep us not talking and not speaking with one another. Don't be so naive and having unrealistic expectations, because then the fall from those unrealistic expectations are huge. I mean, literally, Christmas comes and goes and you're devastated that somebody didn't reach out, although you didn't pick up the phone, or somebody didn't send you a card, even though you didn't send one, or somebody didn't call and say happy holidays, even though you didn't call. Be clear that realistic expectations, or this has been the theme with many of my journey clients this week, start something. Start something. Go ahead and forgive somebody. Go ahead and open the lines of communication. Go ahead and talk to somebody first. Y'all know y'all good. Hey, make it magical. You're waiting on magic to happen? Make the magic happen. You can do that. Absolutely. If you have in your mind one person that you would love to hear from, but you know is probably not going to pick up the phone, start something. Go ahead and pick up the phone first. Right. In my mind, if something is going to alleviate me being depressed, me being sad, me being isolated, me crying, me having a horrible holiday, I'm absolutely going to do whatever it is that I need to do to alleviate that. And if it's dependent upon me letting my, I want to say guard down, or putting my ego to the side, or putting my pride to the side, I'm absolutely going to do that. Right. The other thing you could do is focus on what you have. So many people are so, oh gosh, and I have been guilty of this when I was younger, where we focus on what we don't have. Oh, I wish grandma was here. You got 27 other family members in the room, but your focus is on the person that's not there, or not honoring them and thinking of something wonderful about them or what they would say. Absolutely, when my family gets together, somebody's going to say something about each one of the family members. This is what they would do. This is what they would say. This is how they would act. Any of those things. So you need to be clear that when in the presence of people that you want to have an impact on and who you want to be present with, you have to consider those people that are there, not the people that are not. Not the people that are not. There's a question. Is it okay to create new memories without resolving the past? Absolutely, you can create new memories, because the resolution of the past, I don't know that happens without some therapy. And many people don't have time between now and Christmas. Absolutely, you can create something new, because guess what it will do? Sometimes it will cover. You see how I did that? It will cover some of the pain, some of the hurt, some of the unrealistic expectations, some of the drama, some of the trauma, some of the loss around this time. We can use new memories to cover what doesn't feel good to us. Absolutely, you can do that. You absolutely can do that. And then here's one I thought was very interesting. And that is, if in fact you're around people and you have a best friend and you have a good friend and you got a good cousin and your family's strong and you're all of those things, and you find yourself alone, not just lonely, because lonely you can be with a ton of people, but alone during Christmas, I would question my social group. Like, hey, okay, wait a minute. So 2 things. You didn't ask to be around anybody and nobody asked you to be around. Right. That piece you need to, because I absolutely want to be around friends who are in tune to me and know that, okay, well, Angie said she was getting off the plane at 2:00. And so it's, she going to be by herself. I want people who are my friends to go, hey, girl, what you doing? Come on over. Or if you're not doing anything and I'm not doing anything, let's get together. It don't make a difference that you're in California and I'm in North Carolina. Let's get together. Let's meet up in Iowa. Maybe not Iowa. Texas. I got lots of friends in Texas. I'm saying that to say we have to, I would be questioning those people who could see some of those symptoms and see me experience some of those symptoms and not reach out. Now, there are people that we're going to reach out to that don't want our help. There are people who absolutely wallow in their grieving. They wallow in their loss. They wallow in their sadness. They wallow in their depression. And if you've extended a hand, I saw a couple of people on Facebook like, okay, I would physically go get them. I'm going to pull them out the house. I'm going to pull them in the car. They're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. But guess what, people? Yeah, most grown folks won't allow you to do that. Now, you can press a little bit because many of us say things like, no, that's okay. I don't want to be a bother. Well, people leave things open like that. Go ahead and do a little pushing. Like, no, it's no bother. I got an extra plate, and as long as you don't push up on my sweet potato pie that my mama made, we going to be good to grow. Now, don't come starting no stuff. No, get the rules in advance, because, some people come over and want to eat your stuff, all of it. Anyway, be clear that it's okay to do a little push, but it shouldn't be a hard push if somebody wants to be in that place. Because what you don't want is to invite somebody who's going to be in that place and then have all the people around them, swarming like, okay, is your friend okay? They're going to be okay? They're going to... Yeah, those people went on. So and you all know who they are. But it's okay to do a little push. But if people want to sit where they are, I think that we can allow them to do that. We good with that? Okay. Then the other thing that's huge, and I think all of us should do it anyway, volunteer, people. There are many people. There are homeless shelters. There's so many different places we can volunteer. Things that we can go do for other people. People that would love to see your face, that would love to have your help, that would love to help put a smile on your face. People that would love to tell you stories or to listen to your stories. There's so many different places where we can volunteer. So many places that we have gifts and talents that can be used by other people. And I think it's one thing that we don't depend upon enough, that we absolutely can go places and bring light to other people while also having some of that light for ourselves. There's no reason for anybody to be alone or lonely during this holiday season because there's too much to do. Too much to do. And so I saved that one for last because I want us all to consider that. I want us all to consider that. Trust and believe there's somebody. If you're not one of the people I'm talking about, there's one of those people then would need you to absolutely show up. Invite them. So if you know somebody, instead of them feeling like maybe you're inviting them because you're feeling sorry for them, say, hey, let's go out and help feed the hungry. Or, hey, let's just make these quick little care packages and go drop them off to some of the people that's homeless that hang out downtown. You can do a gazillion different things. With volunteering. And I'm not sure about you, but it always helps me to help other people. And it helps me to help other people. Yeah. So everybody go out and do that, no matter what. Question, does medication, and I'm getting these questions from people who are posting them as we speak. So does medication help from therapists during the holidays? I think it does, but because I think that if you're already on medication and you already have some challenges with depression, that please don't take extra thinking I'm going to need extra. There absolutely should be more therapeutic process happening around the holidays where you're able to talk and process some of your feelings, because it absolutely will magnify. The depression tends to get greater. Many of us think about all the things that we didn't do and places where we failed at. And we have all of these negative things coming at us around the holiday season. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I should have looked that up. I didn't look that up. But many of us have a lot of negative things coming at us. And so if we're already in this depressed state, you absolutely want to connect with your therapist, connect with your psychologist, connect with your BFF, connect with somebody who can absolutely process the information with you, process your feelings with you. Because you absolutely, I don't know that the medication would help beyond where it's helping already. I'm hoping that answered your question. And then the other thing is to seek therapy. So I thought the volunteer was last. The other thing is to seek therapy. Reach out to somebody. I wouldn't want anybody to go through those things alone. And unfortunately, we could talk until we're blue in the face. I could talk until I'm blue in the face. And there are still some folks who will choose not to move or believe it's impossible to move. You guys have all heard me talk about mental movement. That's the only thing that we have at our disposal, and we all have it. The ability to be able to move ourselves from one place to another. With this particular issue, it's imperative because it cannot happen if you're not willing to mentally move. I'm not suggesting that folks allow themselves to not feel. What I'm going to say is that, again, you manage that emotion. Mental movement involves you moving yourself from a place that's negative, because if we can go there, we can absolutely go from there. The street isn't blocked, the road isn't blocked, they don't throw up some big old barricades. If you can get there, there's a way you can get back. Mental movement is going to be pivotal during this time, and you're absolutely going to have to bring your A game. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Challenging. Can it be challenging? Absolutely. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. There's some people who have experienced a loss, and that loss is probably the number one reason that people experience depression and sadness during the holidays. The loss of a loved one. And that could be a physical loss where someone has transitioned, passed away, died, expired, or that could be the loss of somebody no longer in their lives. The mental movement for those people is going to be a little bit greater because those people are actually grieving on top of something else. The mental movement then is going to involve you making a decision to celebrate with yourself, not by yourself, with yourself, to honor those people who have been lost, and even those people who have chosen to walk away, or you've chosen to walk away. I have 5 friends, 5. And I call them friends, but they're people who have no longer talk to me, have exited my life for what they deem to be good reasons. But I remember those people. I still speak to those people. Sometimes I've inboxed probably all of them. Do they ever inbox me back? Nope. Do they ever reach back out? No. But I made contact. I put something good in their ear. And guess what? That leaves me less heavy. Now, I'm not saying go stalk anybody. Please don't do that and say, Angie told you to do that. What I'm saying to you is that there are absolutely ways that you can mentally move from certain places by you doing certain things. And when I talk about mental movement, I'm simply talking about you changing your mind about something, about a particular behavior, about a particular thought, a particular event, and changing it over to where it benefits you. Because sadness and depression doesn't benefit anybody ever. Never, ever, 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 ever. All right. The other thing I was going to talk about is the bringing your A game. I need everybody listening to be aware that not only are we looking for these things, some of these things could absolutely happen with us. And so the A game is pivotal. What is the A game? I wish I could hear you because I know some people know it. A game is being aware, acknowledging, accepting, taking action, and doing aftercare. That's going to be important because there's certain things that we absolutely need to do. We have to want to feel, to think, to believe, and behave differently in order to be open to ways to think, feel, believe, and behave differently. Let me say that again. I want you all to listen to what I'm saying. We have to want to feel, think, and believe, and behave differently in order to be open to ways to think, feel, believe, and behave differently. We have to want to show and improve. We have to want to show up and show out. Without that desire, it doesn't happen. So don't believe that this holiday season is so magical that it'll just come to you. You have to want those things. We clear about that? Everybody clear? Right. I take it you guys didn't have, you did have some questions. And I'm hoping that I did answer some of your questions. You know, the thing goes round and round and round and round and round. I want you all to be clear about a couple of things before I leave you because, you know, the outro is coming. I'm getting ready to sign off in a minute. But I want you guys to be clear about some of the things that I said earlier about those people that are at risk, the elderly, people that are single, people empty nests, people who are widowed, people who have lost a parent or a spouse, people who have discord in their family or in their house or in their relationship. If you all know any of those people, those are some people that we absolutely need to be on the lookout for. You know what I didn't mention earlier? There are some of us who have lost a job, lost income, been demoted, been not promoted, something that happens professionally. Now, when folks mess with your money, around Christmas time, or where you don't have what you usually have around Christmas time, people tend to be devastated by those things. I think it's a great time for people to know their worth and to know that they're not just about these things. We are all, our presence is worth something. Our listening is worth something. Our knowledge is worth something. Our actions are worth something. So in order for you to know your worth, I'm not just talking about what you can go spend on somebody. I'm talking, there's some people that need you just to show up, just to be there. There's some people who need you just to hear them, just to listen. There's some people who really want your knowledge. You got some skills and some knowledge that they would love to have and to interact with. People, we all have to know our worth and know what we're capable of doing for other people. That doesn't involve money. So people, there's many people, especially people who have lost income, who are financially challenged. I, for one, if a friend texts me on Christmas, I'm happy. If a friend sends me a Christmas card, I'm happy. If a friend was to come and visit, I would be happy. Those things are invaluable, but we think about giving those things last. We don't think about giving those things first. And I would challenge you all to do those things first. Now, I know everybody got somebody in their family going to be like, what's this, a card? Well, like, there's no money in it. But that's okay that they're challenged. Go ahead. It's better that they be challenged emotionally than have you be challenged financially. Y'all can quote me on that one. Go ahead. Tell Auntie I said that. Right. Don't give her my name now. Those things are very, very important. Again, some of the things that we're looking out for, people who isolate themselves, who seem to be angry and frustrated for no other reason but that it's Christmas time, those people with depressed mood, those people who have increased in some of their habits like smoking or drinking or shopping, gambling. I didn't say sex. Should I have said sex? You think people have extra sex when they're depressed? I don't know. But if it could be habit forming, absolutely. How would you know that? Okay, I'm going to stop playing with y'all. I thought that was pretty funny. Here's a question. Is this a question? It said, even if your love language is gifts, make something, write a letter, re-gift something you know they love. There are always a gift within your budget. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in that. Next year, I'm going to begin to give away those things I left to people in my will. Because I just turned 50. So I'm 51. I'll be 51 this year. I'm going to begin to give away those things that I was leaving to people. Because guess what? Some of those things I would prefer to know that you got them. I don't know whether I'm going to have ears and eyes when I get to heaven, or if I'm even going to be able to see y'all, be happy about the stuff. And so I'm going to start doing those things. They're absolutely, thank you, doctor. They're absolutely things that you can do. But again, some of those things involve things that you already have with you. Sharing yourself, sharing your thoughts, sharing your skills, sharing your presence, your physical presence, especially to your grandma. She going to always want that. Grandma's always going to want the babies to show up. I'm just telling you. So there you have it, people. I'm hopeful that our conversation tonight helped you and will help you help somebody else. I want you first to look out for yourself. That's pivotal. And then I want you to look out for someone else, because that's important as well. So that we get this message out, I'm going to ask you all again to do me a favor. This could be my early Christmas present. I want you to go ahead and share this video. Share this video, because I would love for other people to get the information. I only have 5,000 friends, but I have 5,000 friends who can share this with other people that are on their news feed. So I want you to go ahead and do that for me. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. Go ahead. I'll wait. Okay. Thank you all. And thank you all for showing up. I truly appreciate it. I thank everybody who led to me having this conversation. I thank you all for growing up, because you absolutely could have chose to do something else tonight. I love, and I keep saying this, but I'm so very thrilled. There are people who will show up no matter what. There's people who will, and it's not supportive of me. There are people who want the information, and I'm honored and I'm pleased, and yeah, all that good stuff. I could get all mushy, but I won't. I hope that you all will allow yourself to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because you're perfectly capable, and you're perfectly deserving. You deserve it. You deserve to have a happy holiday. So I wrote a little song. Well, it's not a song. It's not my song. I just kind of remixed it. Y'all ready? Okay. I wish you a growing Christmas. I wish you a growing Christmas. I wish you a growing Christmas and a grown-up New Year. I know. I need to stick to talking. Anyway, people, I love y'all. Love you, miss ya. Bye-bye. I'm out of here.